You're listening to Pombo and Peter's Picks, the home of your favorite sports betting podcast, presented by The Daily Goat.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pombo and Peter's Picks. I'm Jason Pombo, joined as always by Peter Alves. And Peter, as we said last Thursday, we would have a big episode on this upcoming Monday, and here we are, NBA preview with the guys from Roughing the Basket. Carr and Noah, how we doing?
Doing fantastic. When's the last time we both have been on Pombo and Peter's Picks?
This is Pombo and Peter's Picks. This is not your podcast.
Had already plugged in my podcast, but when's the last time me and Noah have both been on here? Was it last year?
Probably a year ago.
Probably.
Yeah, it actually was. Got my NBA Finals prediction right. Kind of.
You did. No, you
we
were the
did.
Warriors, yeah.
We had, I think, what was it? It was me, Noah, and Peter all had the Warriors, and then
I had the
Pombo went
Nuggets.
unconventional,
I
but
had the
it's okay.
Nuggets. Look,
Do
I mean,
better. Do better.
yeah, be better. I'm sorry. But
Round
yeah,
two.
it's been a long time since we've, the four of us has come together to do the podcast. So that's exciting. And as we did last year, we're going to do an NBA preview.
Wait. 2 questions before we start.
Sure.
A,
Oh, boy.
no, because this is all going to be NBA. 1, Carr, how's my Heisman Trophy winner doing? Does anybody
Who did
know?
you pick again?
Marvin Harrison's
Marvin Harris,
son.
he's a beast, though. He's a beast.
Yo, no. He's been playing really, really well this season. Like, if you had CJ Stroud, I think me and Pombo had him. He's been balling out this season. He's probably the favorite right now, but yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. is killing it. So,
And
if
I
that's what we're
apologize for trading Devontae Adams. Sorry.
Shark.
Shark. She's shark in
Listen,
the
Seth
water.
gave me Brees Hall. What do you want me to do?
Freaking Peter. He has 2 first-round picks.
Listen. All right, I have 2 first-round picks, 5 second-round picks, and then my 3rd-round pick.
And then he beat me, and he's 2-3. It's not fun.
I'm also 2-3 in our dynasty league. So
So if anybody needs picks,
Okay.
let me know.
All right, there we go.
screw them picks, right, Noah?
Exactly.
All right. So let's get back to the NBA. Let's talk about the offseason because I think there was, of course, a lot of player movement, free agency via trade. Arguably the biggest move was Donovan Mitchell heading to Cleveland. And arguably the biggest move that did not happen was Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving staying put in Brooklyn. So what do we think? What do you think was the best offseason move for this NBA offseason? Peter, I'll start with you, I guess.
Listen, as the college football, I brought the funnies. This time I'll bring half the funnies because I actually know some things about basketball. But I have Kevin Looney versus the Warriors. I thought he was absolutely gone after this year, whether they can lock up Golden State. They locked up their whole roster, and they should be on the right track to probably repeat again.
That is an unbelievable answer, Peter. That
Thank you.
Kevon Looney, man.
I
What
did
a
not
guy.
know that wasn't really a fun answer. That's Kevon Looney. He's like I mean,
No. My next answer will be fun.
Okay.
Okay. Carr, you want to go?
The best move this offseason. I mean, it was a very up and down offseason in terms of you mentioned the Kevin Durant situation, the Kyrie Irving situation, and we were expecting a whole lot of movement to come from that side, and obviously they stayed put. But I think the best move, to be quite honest with you, is probably the Donovan Mitchell one. We already talked about that. Well, you mentioned it to start, but I think that move for both sides. I mean, the Utah Jazz, they're a team right now. I'm sure we'll get it to them soon on this podcast, but they're kind of in that rebuilding stage. They traded away Donovan Mitchell, traded away Rudy Gobert. They've acquired all these picks. Danny Ainge, he's going to be in the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes next year probably. But yeah, I think that move for Cleveland, I think that kind of put them in territory where I could see them finishing as a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference. They were a team last year that was really good. I think they were kind of a team that not a lot of people expected to take this big jump, but they were a team that played really well last season. Unfortunately, they came up short, I believe, in the play-in tournament, correct? Because they missed the playoffs. So yeah. I think that's something where they improved a lot. They have Evan Mobley, who was an absolute monster last season as a rookie. And then, you have players like Jared Allen and you have Darius Garland as well. So I think this core got a lot better, and Cleveland, I think, is just in a really good spot. So I liked that trade a lot. I think that was probably the biggest move this offseason, and I think it was the best one.
No, what do you think?
Dude, Royce O'Neal for a first rounder. Nah, I'm just playing that. No. But I think, like, you guys know how much on the hype train I am of Trae Young, and I think him getting a number 2 guard there, and just being able to finally get a second guy to play with in DeJounte Murray. I mean, this dude led the league in steals last year, and he averaged 21 points. I think nine rebounds, 8 assists, or the other way around. I mean, basically a triple double for the Spurs, and it was just so swept under the rug. Because, I mean, obviously Spurs weren't really that marketable last year, but I think him going to Atlanta is going to make a huge difference. And if you see what they gave up for him, it really wasn't that much in the grand scheme of things. So I think that was a great trade for them.
Wow, Noah, you really took mine. That was the one that I was hoping that nobody would say, and I thought Carr was going to say it. But yeah, DeJounte Murray to the Hawks, I think, was a great acquisition. Like you said, they didn't really give up a lot to get him, and I think that's extremely beneficial because Trae Young needs help. We all know his ceiling is extremely high. But as the NBA is, it is a superstar-driven league, but superstars need help. And I think DeJounte Murray is a perfect player on offensively and defensively to really complement a guy like Trae Young. Another move that nobody mentioned, Malcolm Brogdon to the Celtics. If he can stay healthy, I think that's a big addition to the Celtics bench. He's going to be their 6th man. And the Celtics realistically did not give up anything for him. And I think if he can come in and produce as that backup point guard role, I think it'll be very important for the Celtics team. And I'll give you one more, Christian Wood to the Mavericks. I'm a big Christian Wood guy. I think Dallas is a team that needs some help, and I think Christian Wood could provide that spark. And of course, Donovan Mitchell, which is arguably the biggest move this offseason. That's going to help this young Cavs team, like you said. Mobley, Mitchell, 2 young guys that are going to complement each other extremely well. Now, in terms of the worst offseason move, is there any that you saw and you're like, ugh, that ain't going to work out, Chief?
I think
Whoever can start.
I think one for that, I mean, I think a lot of people kind of scratch their heads about. I think the Rudy Gobert one, while I think it'll help the Minnesota Timberwolves be a good regular season team, and obviously, you know, Rudy Gobert is one of the best defensive players in the NBA. He's someone who he won the award 3 times now. He's right in the running once again, and it kind of helps with Karl Anthony Towns, who's more of an offensive guy. He can play the 4, and you can kind of kick him outside, where he's actually been a really good 3-point shooter. He won the 3-point competition last year, and he had I think he had averaged 40. He was shooting 40% from 3, I'm pretty sure, as well. So I think it's a good move. But however, how much you gave for a guy like Rudy Gobert, it was 4 or 5 first-round picks. I think that's something that ultimately could potentially backfire for the Timberwolves. They're going to be a good regular season team. Anthony Edwards is someone I'm pretty high on this season, and D'Angelo Russell is obviously still there, and they have some pretty good pieces. But I don't know. I just feel like Rudy Gobert, yes, he's been a great defensive player, and obviously it kind of helps the Timberwolves defense, but I just don't see that propelling them to, NBA finals territory. I still think there's a long ways to go, and you mortgaged a lot of players and pretty much your entire future. So I'm a little skeptical about that. But yeah.
Noah, what do you think?
So that was definitely the one I was going to go with. So I got to get a little bit more creative here. I'm going to say the Knicks and just their questionable decision-making during the draft. I mean, you just gave up Jalen Duren. I think they actually traded in to draft him, and then they immediately got out of there. And then also they gave up Nerlens Noel and who else? Alex Burks to the Pistons for literally nothing, which again, those 2 guys aren't exactly superstars, but I mean, hey, they can make a difference off the bench here and there. So again, I just think the Knicks just making questionable moves in the draft is definitely one of them that's up there for me, but definitely the Rudy Gobert one would have been my number 1 choice. I mean, the Timberwolves are going to get better. They're going to be in the playoffs. They're going to be a cemented top 5 seed team. However, long-term, I mean, they kind of shot themselves in the foot long-term with picks, and I don't know how it's going to work out for them.
And one more thing to add, to that, I don't see how they can beat the Warriors, because how are they going to be able to defend out in the perimeter? Rudy Gobert, yeah, he can kind of do that, but he's more of an interior presence. Golden State, I think, would probably have a field day against that team personally. So I don't know. I just don't see how it results in Minnesota winning a championship.
Peter, what do you think?
So here's the funny answer. Would you pay somebody $231 million if they only played 85 games and 3.5 seasons.
Ooh, I
That's a
don't know
poll.
who you adding.
Oh, I
Is
think
that-
I know who you're adding.
I don't know
Would
who's
you?
adding.
Yes or no? Absolutely not. All right, Zion,
Probably not.
5-year extension.
No.
No, you have to.
Okay.
I know you have to do it. I know he's fat. Maybe, allegedly. I don't know. But that's a lot of money for somebody that's only played 85 games in 3.5 seasons. I know he's one of the best players when healthy. But will we
But
say
the question
healthy?
is when he's
Who knows?
healthy. Yeah, Peter, you're bringing a lot of electric takes, and I'm with it. I'm
Mhm.
really, Peter. I think you're killing it out of the park.
I think you obviously he's gonna get maxed anywhere, but like see it like if you can just play one season fully healthy.
Yeah,
Just one.
I'm with you. I think his durability is a concern. Carr and Noah hit mine. Rudy Gobert, I think was the worst move of the offseason. It also set a really high bar when it comes to future star trades. I think one of the reasons why Kevin Durant is still in Brooklyn is because of that Rudy Gobert trade, because it was so emphatically ridiculous. I think you can't trade Kevin Durant for anything less than what Rudy Gobert got traded for. And I think ultimately that's why we saw a lot of holds at a guy like Kevin Durant being traded. That, in my opinion, was legitimately the worst move of the offseason. And then my next one, I'm going to go the Knicks giving Jalen Brunson that max deal. I like Brunson, but I don't think he's a max player. I think he can be a good point guard in this league, top 15 guy in terms of being a point guard, but I don't think he's really going to move the needle. And the Knicks moved, like Noah said, all their space. They allocated and got rid of all those draft picks and all for him. And I don't know. I don't know if he really moves the needle. They missed out on Donovan Mitchell. I think the Knicks had a really bad offseason, despite the fact that they still have a little bit of financial flexibility next year. I think they missed by a large margin the last few off seasons.
I was going to say
Par for the course. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's the Knicks.
another ones. If you're going to bring up like contract extensions, I think the Washington Wizards giving Bradley Beal a contract extension, I didn't agree with that. I think they should have moved on from Bradley Beal like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and now you're kind of keeping him long term, and now his value is lower than it was at that point. So I just kind of feel like the Washington Wizards are a team that should be in rebuild mode, and they give their look. Hey, Bradley Beal, if you wanted to stay there, like good for him, but for like a team building standpoint and kind of how they should be moving forward with their roster, I don't think giving Bradley Beal a big contract extension and keeping him on the roster was a great move. And just kind of feel like the Washington Wizards are, they're going to be in that situation where maybe having Bradley Beal, they're kind of good enough to make the play-in tournament, but they're not going to be good enough where they're going to earn a top draft pick and be able to turn things around.
Yeah, I think that's another one. I feel like the Wizards did miss their window about trading him. I think we've talked about that a couple times on the show. They should have moved on from him 2 years ago. And I think he's ultimately going to force a trade in a year or two. All right, next thing I want to get into. Peter, I know you've already given me numerous electric takes, and you always come up with the fire. I need a bold take for this NBA season. It couldn't be a player, team, whatever it may be. Peter, give me your bold take.
All right,
I'm
this is
ready
going to
for it.
shock you. This is
Hang
going
on,
to
let me get
actually
my
going to shock
seatbelt on.
everyone. All right, ready?
Yep.
Because I'm the biggest ball fan you'll ever hear in your whole life. He's never
Oh,
going to play
God.
again. He's never going to play
Who?
again. Lonzo.
Lonzo?
Not LaMelo. LaMelo is the best player in the world. Lonzo's never going to play again.
Noah just looked up so quick.
No, come on.
That was
Ironically enough, Peter, me and
He's
Noah
got
were talking. We were talking about it.
He got surgery like, listen, what was that, like 6 months ago? He's still complaining he can't walk and go upstairs without it hurting.
I told
Like,
you,
how
Noah.
long is it going to take?
It's a real thing. I told you.
I don't think he's ever going to play again, or he's not going to be the same player he'll ever be again. He'll have knee injuries for the rest of his life and never be right.
Dude, Noah, you broke Noah's neck when you said
I love the ball. Listen, I love the ball family. I should have. All right, another ball take. Leandro Ball is going to make the league this year.
Oh God, where's the mute button on Peter?
Oh my goodness, man.
Why, you don't agree with Lonzo though? I don't think he's ever going to be right.
Me and Noah were talking about him, and Justin. We were talking, and Justin was talking about Lonzo's injury, and Noah was like, "Oh, isn't he gonna be good?" And I was like, "No, he can't even walk upstairs. Like he's really going through it." So that's interesting that you bring it up. Carr, what do you got?
Boldest NBA take. I don't know if this is the most bold take I have, but I feel like the Los Angeles Lakers, I still don't feel like that they're going to be a playoff team this year. And look, they've they've been a team that, well, I think last year, what were they, like the 9th seed, or they
Something
fell
like
out.
that. Yeah.
They completely fell out of the play-in tournament. I could see that happening again. And look, Anthony Davis has not been able to stay healthy. Russell Westbrook is still on this team, and maybe they trade Russell Westbrook before the season starts. I don't rule that out completely, but I don't think that the Lakers have completely gotten better. And I know they have a new head coach now in Darvin Ham, but is he going to be someone that can turn this thing around? I'm not so sure. So I do feel like that the Lakers, I've seen them have some pretty lofty expectations this season. I've seen people say Anthony Davis is going to win the MVP this year if he could stay healthy. Maybe he could, but I'm not completely high on the Lakers. And I just feel like there's a lot of teams in the West, like Dallas is going to be better. The Clippers are going to get their guys back. The Nuggets are going to get some of their guys back. The Pelicans are going to still be there. And, maybe like a team like Portland can get better. And I just feel like that the Lakers are, they have a tough road, and I just don't see them being a walk for the playoffs this year.
All right. Noah, what do you got?
Dude, I've been saying this since the end of the last season. I think Marco Fultz ends up averaging 18-5 this year.
That has
I
been
think
your,
he
it's
ends
been
up
Noah's
going-
take for a
Well, the
while.
one that can't shoot. I know he
Yes.
takes
Yeah,
a shot.
bro.
I know he
mean,
takes a shot.
maybe he'll have 25% from 3, but I think he'll get 18 points this year. I feel it.
Okay. I'll give you 2. One's team related. The Detroit Pistons make the playoffs this year. You heard that one, Noah. They will make the play-in tournament. They will. And then player-based, I think the Warriors are going to move on from Draymond Green. If not by the deadline, then by the offseason. I think Draymond Green's Warriors tenure is over after that incident with Jordan Poole. I already think they were frustrated with him as it is. And I think this was the straw that broke the camel's back. It feels like he's trying to leverage himself to get to the Lakers. He wants to stay in California. It's clear. Now, is that going to happen? I'm not sure, but I think the tenure between the Warriors and Draymond Green are done.
And yeah, he's looking for a new contract extension too.
He is, and they're not going to give it to him.
I don't think he's going to get that. So I don't think
Nope.
that's completely crazy. I don't know if it'll be during the season. I could see it happen after the season, because they're still going to probably need Draymond if they want to make another push to win the finals. But if you can get something,
if they can get a
try to-
particular guy healthy, which
Yeah.
I'll talk about later.
Mhm.
I think
yeah,
they might
right.
be able.
Yeah, right.
Who?
Anthony Edwards. Yeah, right.
Oh no, that's not what I was talking about. Not a minute. No,
No
I'm not
way.
even gonna say it. You'll have to hear it. You can wait. All right, so let's talk about our regular season predictions. We'll give you our 1 through 10 seeds as we did last year, and then at the end when we wrap it up, we can talk about who comes out of that conference. Sound good?
Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right, who wants to lead off here? I can lead off if
Jason,
if
go
need
ahead.
be.
Go for
Sure.
it. Jay. Yeah, go for
Sure.
it.
I feel like I'm throwing the ball at everyone, and
Go for it.
I haven't taken a swing yet. So here you go. We'll start off with the East here. I like the Bucks as the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed, I'm going to go with the Celtics. Number 3 seed, I'm going to go with the Heat. The 4 seed, I'm going to go with Brooklyn. That might surprise people, but I do still think that Durant and Kyrie and Simmons can do enough to be a 4 seed. I'm going to go with the Sixers as the 5 seed. I'm going to go with the Cavs as the 6 seed. The Hawks as the 7 seed. I'm going to go with the Toronto Raptors as the 8 seed. Chicago Bulls as the 9 seed, and Noah's Pistons as the 10 seed. Coming out of the Eastern Conference, reluctantly, unfortunately, I'm going to take the Milwaukee Bucks.
Disrespect.
Who did I disrespect? Your Hornets?
I'll go.
Oh boy, here we go.
1 Bucks, 2 Heat, 3 Celtics, 4 76ers, 5 Nets, 6 Hornets. Disrespect.
Ugh.
What? 7 Raptors, 8 Hawks, 9 Cavs, 10 Bulls. Wait, why do you not like
Okay.
the Hornets? I know they
Well,
can't play defense.
Look,
I know they
LaMelo's
can't play
already
I don't like
LaMelo.
them
They
either.
can't play defense. LaMelo already has an ankle injury. Gordon Hayward missed nearly all of the preseason with a knee injury. He's not the same player. They have a new coach down there. I just think they're not in a particular position in which things are going well down there. They have a logjam at the guard position they didn't really address. I don't know. I have them slightly outside. I like the Pistons more than them. I think Cade Cunningham is going to take a real step. I like what the Pistons did at the draft, and they're going to edge them. Because, look, ankle injuries can linger, especially in the NBA. Like LaMelo, it could take some time before he's officially right.
Yeah, to be more fun, I had the Bucks coming out of the East, but I won't pick that. And I'm not picking the Celtics. I'll pick the 76ers. Be fun.
You know, Peter, that's a sleeper pick there that I've seen a lot of people have. I don't buy it, but you roll with it.
Man, I'm kind of on that bandwagon too of the 76ers a little bit. But all right, I guess I'll go. So I have the Milwaukee Bucks as the number 1 seed. I have the Boston Celtics as the number 2 seed. I have the Miami Heat at the number 3 seed. I have the 76ers at the 4th seed. 5th seed, I have the Cavaliers. 6th, I have the Brooklyn Nets. 7th, I'm going to go with the Toronto Raptors. And then I'm going to go with number 8. I'm going to go with the, let's see, I want to go with the Atlanta Hawks at number 8. And then number 9, I'll go with the Pistons. And then I'm going to go with the Bulls at 10. I think I feel like that those 10 teams, I feel like are kind of, almost kind of locks, but I don't know. I don't know.
Everyone loves the Pistons.
I just feel like that they could be in the play-in. Like, seriously.
They played hard last year under Dwayne Casey. Cade Cunningham's going to get better. I liked what they did in the offseason. I'm not just saying that because Noah's sitting right in front of me. Like, I actually believe that. And I've told Noah this. And I feels like so far me, Peter, and Carr, we're pretty down on the Bulls after they had a season in which they exceeded expectations. But for me anyway, I don't like the Bulls because I think
they fizzled down the stretch. And
they fizzled down the stretch. DeRozan's another year older. Like you said, balls out. And yeah.
And then coming out of the Eastern Conference, I didn't say that. I have the Milwaukee Bucks. So.
Noah, what do you got?
All right, I'm going to shock you guys. It's actually
Pistons won.
Here we go.
No way. Dude,
Don't do
way.
it.
But all right, this may actually be the biggest hot take in the whole show right here. Ready for this?
Oh my God.
I got the Cavs as the 1 seed. Donovan Mitchell's been in a 1 seed before, bro. He's been a 1 seed. Doesn't mean that you're going to do anything in the playoffs.
Wait, is LeBron James back on the Cavs?
Not yet. Maybe in 2 years. But yeah, so I got them at 1. I got Bucks at 2, Miami 3, Nets 4, Celtics 5.
Wow.
Then I got Hawks, 76ers, Bulls, Toronto. And I wrote down the Pistons and actually scratched it out after I wrote them down. And I got Indiana. That's a shock.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I like that.
Halliburton, man. Halliburton's legit.
I love Halliburton too. So I feels like
crazy.
Noah's list is definitely different from everyone else's. It feels like he's way down on the Celtics. He's high on the Pacers and he's high on the Cavs. Interesting. And then who do you have coming out of the East?
Bucks are going to come out of the East.
So we have 3 Bucks and then 1 Sixer and no Celtics. Interesting. All right, let's head over to the West now. I will start as I started the East. The West, I feel like the West could go in so many different ways. I have the Warriors as the 1 seed. I have the Grizzlies as the 2 seed. I have the Nuggets as the 3 seed, the Clippers as the 4 seed, the Suns as the 5 seed, the Mavs as the 6 seed, T-Wolves as the 7 seed, the Lakers, the 8 seed, the Pelicans, 9 seed, and the Blazers as the 10 seed. Coming out of the West, I'm going to take the Grizzlies. I'm going to take Memphis. A little bit of a surprise, I think.
I'm a little surprised on that too, not going to lie. You're high on the Grizzlies?
I am. I just feel like when you look at the Western Conference, there really is so many question marks. As much as I love to put all my eggs in the Nikola Jokic basket like I do every year, I'm 0 for 2 in picking the Nuggets to come out of the West the last 2 years. And I'm not falling for that trap again, despite the fact that Jamal Murray is healthy. The Suns, I feel like they have some internal friction down there, especially with DeAndre Ayton. So I don't really love them. The Clippers is everyone's darling right now. And I have question marks about health. Paul George has been banged up. Kawhi Leonard didn't play last year. John Wall, is he the same player? I have question marks there. And you look at other teams in the West, I feel like the Grizzlies, they're young. I understand they popped last year. They didn't get as far as they would have hoped. But I just think ultimately they can really rise to the next level. I'm taking them.
Wow, I feel like the opposite. So, all right, I guess then I'll go. So I have the Denver Nuggets as the number 1 seed.
Love it.
Whoa, is this Jason Paul?
the Warriors as the 2 seed. I have the Timberwolves as the 3 seed. The Mavericks as the 4th seed. I have the Clippers at the 5th seed. I have the Suns at the 6th seed. I have, hold on, I screwed this up. I have the Pelicans. Sorry, I have the Pelicans as the 7th seed. I have the Grizzlies as the 8th seed. I have the Kings as the 9th seed, and then the Blazers at the 10th seed.
Wow, you're making the Lakers miss the playoffs altogether.
I already said it.
Wow,
I'm
yeah,
just
you
not.
did say it. You did.
I'm
say
not
it.
high on the Lakers, man, and I think the Nuggets are going to verse the Bucks in the NBA Finals, and I think that's going to be if that's what ends up happening, I just think that's going to be an awesome matchup. So.
Wow, so you're dead on the Lakers, like you said before.
I think they'll be like 11th. Maybe they push to 10, but I don't know. I just something.
So do you
just
see them
tells
blowing
me
house?
that-
You see him trading anybody?
They could. I mean,
They
I don't know.
could, yeah.
I feel like LeBron, like he hasn't shown signs of declining yet, but maybe that ends up coming this season. And I mean, Anthony Davis just hasn't been able to stay healthy. And like outside of those two, I don't really see like who's going to step up.
Who do you have coming out of the West?
I have the Nuggets.
I hope so.
I just because I feel like they're getting their player. They're going to get Jamal Murray back. They're getting Michael Porter back. And they had a pretty good offseason. Like they signed who they signed. They signed Bruce Brown from the Nets. They got KCP in there, who's a pretty good player as well. Like I think they like filled out their team with some pretty good role players. And I mean, Nikola Jokic is an absolute monster. He's won the MVP back-to-back years. And I just feel like that could be the year that they're due. And they were close. Like, whoa, in the bubble, they were, I think, in the Western Conference Finals. Like, I know it was the bubble, but I think this team hasn't had their guys healthy, and I just feel like it's going to be a good situation for them.
I mean, look, man, I picked the Nuggets to come out of the West the last 2 years, so I was highly considering it a third time. I just couldn't bring myself to another Nuggets.
If they do it this year, you're gonna really feel bad.
I will. Nobody's higher on Jokic than me. So Peter, you want to go?
I'll go. So 1, I have the Warriors. 2, I have the Clippers. 3, the Mavericks. 4, the Grizzlies. 5, the Suns. 6, the Nuggets. 7, the Lakers. 8, the Timberwolves. Well, the Timberwolves. 9 on the Pelicans, and then 10 reluctantly Trailblazers. I ultimately didn't know who'd pick 10.
Wow.
I have Trailblazers at 10 too. I don't know.
So, yeah, I do too.
I don't know. I just did that for
did you have the
Damian
Lakers
Lillard's
in?
still there, man. You know?
Yeah,
you
I
have the
had
Lakers in?
at 7.
7. Okay. Who comes out of the West?
I have the Clippers coming out of the
Okay.
West.
That's what seems like. According to Vegas, the Clippers are the favorite to win the title. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, really?
To
I don't
me?
like that anymore.
I can't see that. I can't see
Like
that.
how? I mean, that's
I
why
don't know.
I'm all
People
thrown
forget
off
how good Kawhi is, I guess.
when he plays.
I know.
I mean, all right. So you're you're taking the Clippers. Noah, what do you got in the West?
All right,
Do I need my
man.
seatbelt for this one too?
No, not really. I think it's kind of standard, on par with the other ones. I got the Nuggets at the 1 seed, Grizzlies at the 2 seed, Warriors, Clippers, Timberwolves, Suns, New Orleans, Mavs, Lakers, and Kings. And
Ooh, the
And I
Kings.
feel like, look, with the Mavs, here's the thing. I have them down really low, but I mean, Luka Doncic is Luka Doncic come playoff time. You never know what could happen with them. They could pull up some surprises in the playoffs and, shock some teams despite being the 8th or the 7th seed, Yeah, and I do have the Kings making it finally as the 10th seed. I think Malik Monk is a huge addition for them. They were able to add Kevin Huerter or who
Kevin Huerter, the Hawks.
Yeah. I mean, they got better, like making threes in the offseason big time. And I think that's going to benefit them enough to get into the playoffs. Even though I think definitely Tyrese Halliburton making that trade last year was still terrible, and they're going to regret doing that for a long time. I think they're good enough to make it as a 10th seed.
Who comes out of the
Keegan
West?
Murray. I was going to say Keegan Murray also had a really good summer league. Wasn't he summer league MVP?
Yep.
He was really good.
Awesome. He was awesome.
Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, who I think has become underrated. Like,
I
think they can do it. Yeah.
I don't hate it.
It's a good team.
But I will say I got the Nuggets coming out of the West. I think, like you said, I mean, everybody had pretty good points about it so far, so I won't speak on it too much. But I don't know, man. It's just Jokic has been so consistent for so long, and I think they're due for it. 3rd time's the charm. Jason should have gone with them one more year, man.
I know.
If they make it,
this is gonna be a year that
terrible.
they go for. Jason, it too.
I'll be on the wagon, man. Trust me. I'll hop right on. Nuggets of team I've been waiting to pop for years.
Mhm.
Nikola Jokic is, again, one of the best players in the NBA. I've had his back for MVP for years. Like, it's my guy. So I trust me. If that comes to fruition, I'd love to see that.
Mhm.
All right. Before we give our finals, like our who wins the finals, because now we have who's going to come out of the East and West. Let's talk a little bit about awards. Specifically, that's an exciting kind of prop to talk about. So we'll use the DraftKings website here to go with some awards. So we'll probably start off with MVP. That sound good with everybody?
Let's do it. Start
All right.
off big.
All right. Who wants to start, or do what you want me to start?
You can go last because that's who actually probably will win MVP, right?
I know, right? Say I'll be clean up. Or yeah, Peter, you go first.
I can go first. MVP this year, Joel Embiid. He should have won it last year.
Ooh, what's
I don't know,
Embiid right now?
but
It's plus 600, I think.
plus 650.
650.
Plus
He's third
650.
in odds. Yep.
All right, you got Embiid. Noah, who do you got?
I really don't want to say this answer because I don't like him, but I have a feeling Kevin Durant's going to take it this year.
Ooh.
Mm.
Durant is what? He's plus 800. Okay. Carr.
I can't believe I'm gonna agree with Peter. I'm gonna take Joel Embiid. Like,
I guess
listen,
you can cross
I
that beat
think
off.
literally, and I don't know. I mean, I know Luka's the favorite, and he absolutely could do it. Like, I mean, I think a lot of people have been kind of pounding the table for Luka Doncic MVP for years now, but I don't know if the Mavericks are gonna finish as like a top 3 seed. I think I have them as 4. I mean, they could do it, but I think with the Sixers, I expect a pretty big year for them. I think they had a good offseason. If as long as Joel Embiid can stay healthy, I think him and James Harden. I think James Harden's honestly become a little bit underrated too. I think the pick and roll that they can do, like I just feel like that Joel Embiid is going to really feed off of James Harden, and I still think Harden has a little bit left in the tank. And I think Embiid last year could have won it. Obviously, Jokic was just so dominant too, and I think this is going to be the year where Embiid wins it. I think Jokic, he's already won it 2 years in a row. Giannis has won it before, and I think the voter fatigue kind of plays into plays a factor there. And I just feel like Embiid, as long as he can stay healthy, I have the Sixers being a good team this year. I think they can make noise. Absolutely.
All right, for me anyway, I've been on the fence with a couple different players in particular, but
You have a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
go.
pressure. This has to win, and you have
I hate
you
it.
have to bet it this year. You have to bet it this year.
I'm gonna go with Giannis at plus 600.
Mm.
I have the Bucks winning, getting to the finals, coming out of the East, and I think Giannis is gonna be a big reason why. And I understand that the voter fatigue could play in part here, but he hasn't won it in a couple years now, and I'll take Giannis to win his 3rd MVP.
No Jason Tatum.
No Jason Tatum. There was 3 or 4. I'll tell you the 3 or 4 players I really like. Giannis, like I said, I think Luka's going to be in the discussion. I think Tatum is going to be in the discussion as well, and I think John Morant will also be in the discussion. So those are the 4 that I really like.
Is there, so looking at the odds right now on DraftKings, is there anybody that's like underrated that maybe is like plus 3,000, plus 5,000 that you would think might have a chance of winning the MVP?
I mean, come
Crazy.
on, LaMelo Ball plus 7,000.
No shot, bro.
No, I if you're saying sleeper,
Cat.
I would say Trae Young at 3,500.
That's
That
not
would be my
bad too.
sleeper.
Yeah, I like that one. So I mean, the
Yeah.
Hawks, I mean, could absolutely finish as a top 5 team,
Yeah.
top 4 team in the East.
Tell you what,
What about Donovan
Dow-
Mitchell? No,
Ugh.
loves him plus 8,000.
No, that I mean, you have the Cavs as the number 1 seed in the East.
That's
I would
right.
think
Yeah.
that would be
There
because
somehow.
of Mitchell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Possible.
mean, yeah, it's possible, but I think it's a team effort. I think he'll get his 25 and 5, but I don't know if that's good enough for MVP.
Yeah, fair point. All right, let's move on to let's go to most improved player. That's a fun award. This award can go in a number of different ways.
Literally.
Carr, you want to start?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Anthony Edwards. Right now, he is tied with Tyrese Maxey as co-favorites at plus 1,100. Look, I mean, I have the Timberwolves as the 3rd seed, and Anthony Edwards has gotten better every single season. And I think we're kind of waiting for him to kind of take off into maybe top 20 player in the NBA status, maybe top 25. I think he's very close to that. If not, he's already a top 25 player potentially. But I think Anthony Edwards I think he's due for a big season. I do think that the Timberwolves are going to have a good regular season. Again, I've already mentioned Rudy Gobert in the playoffs, but I think Anthony Edwards he's legit former number 1 overall pick, and he has been really good so far throughout his NBA career. And I just think that he can absolutely, kind of lift himself into a top 20 player.
All right. Peter, I'll strap myself in. I get my seatbelt going. Who do you got?
I mean, I crapped on him before, but you can be most improved player because he didn't even play last year, so the bar is really low. Zion plus 1,400. Right,
Yeah,
you
you
should
know
win
what?
that by
That-
default, right?
You
If
would think.
he stays healthy, you should win that by default.
You would think. All right, Noah, who do you got?
There's someone that's here for Noah that he has to take.
I mean, I want to say Markelle Fultz, man, but I guess like Cade Cunningham is the answer everybody's thinking I'm gonna
Yep.
say. I mean, I'll go with that then. I'll go with Cade Cunningham just because I think of the being the number 1 pick. I mean, all eyes are gonna be on him. So yeah, we'll go with Cade Cunningham.
That's a good one. I'm going to go a little bit. I wouldn't say it's like off the rail, but I'm going to go James Wiseman plus 3,500.
Oh,
That's who I'm talking about. I think if Wiseman can become healthy He could be a big reason why Draymond Green kind of gets the boot in Golden State. Wiseman, of course, was a non-factor last year on that championship team. I believe in Wiseman's talent. Everyone said he's been kind of tearing it up lately in whatever camp, practice, and all that sort of thing. I'm going Wiseman plus 3,500. It might seem like a reach, but I think this award doesn't. Again, if Zion is healthy and all that, that should make life easy. But I just don't know if he's going to be able to do that.
There's some other players I like here too.
Yeah. I also like Evan Mobley at plus 4,500 too.
Yeah, I like Josh Giddey too at plus 3,500 too. The same odds as Wiseman. I think he's a good player, and he can especially with Chet Holmgren missing the season and like the Thunder kind of needing some more firepower. I could see it. And having a good season.
I'll give you one more, which I'm not going to pick, but if you're using Peter's logic, which is usually good when it comes to this award, Ben Simmons plus 6,000.
Oh,
True, if he can actually shoot.
If he shows up and he plays, and even if he doesn't shoot, if he averages,
that's a good point.
10, 8, and 10, I think he'll be in the consideration. You would think, right? I don't think that's that crazy.
Noah does not like Ben Simmons, man.
I don't either. I don't
20
either.
times on the podcast.
No, but
I don't either.
That logic's
But
right.
if he comes in and he averages 10, 8, and 10, and the Nets are half decent, let's say they're a 5 seed, and he's their facilitator and all that, I mean, he'll be right in the running. There's good value there.
Noah averaged the same amount of points, assists, rebounds, everything as Ben Simmons last year.
He did. Shout out. I mean, I could never do that.
Baller.
I couldn't either.
All right, let's go to Defensive Player of the Year. This is an award in which we saw Marcus Smart win last year. He was the first guard to do it since Gary Payton. Is another guard going to repeat? Who wants? I can start off with this one. I'm going to say the answer is no. Another guard is not going to repeat here. I'm going to go with Bam Adebayo plus 650.
Stole my pick.
Sorry.
Oh, me too. Damn. I'm gonna go Giannis just to be different than plus 1,000. I'm not gonna pick Gobert for the 80 million time.
I guess to elaborate a little bit on Bam Adebayo, I think he's due, and he's someone who I feel like he can
wants
guard
this award. He wants this award.
And he can guard multiple positions. And I think Miami usually finishes as a good defensive team, and he is probably their best defensive player. And I think he can absolutely win it this year. I think he's due. And I mean, there's plenty of really good options here. I also like Evan Mobley at plus 1,700.
How is Robert Williams up here? Isn't he gonna be out like 2 months?
What's his odds? Oh, wow, he's got plus 1,100 odds.
This says two things to me.
Wow.
One, Vegas thinks he'll be back sooner than anticipated. Two, he's just that good of a defensive player. So I think both can be true.
That's crazy. I didn't expect him to have that high.
Right? I thought he was gonna be buried in the middle somewhere.
But Vegas thinks he's coming back in a couple weeks is my take on it. All right,
Mhm.
Noah, who do you got?
Yeah, that would have been my pick. But if he's out an extended amount of time, I'll go with sleeper. I'm gonna say Miles Turner.
Ooh, okay. Turner is what? He is. I just saw
He's
him
plus 3,500.
3,500. Okay, I like that.
Which I will say, last year I said Jaren Jackson. He didn't win the award, but he was in the top 5 in voting, I believe. So
Yeah.
you know,
Hey,
All right.
Miles Turner is one of the best shot blockers in the league. Like,
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And Peter, you're going Giannis?
Yeah, I'll go Giannis plus 1,000. I was gonna pick
Okay.
Bam, but everybody else said.
Sorry. All right, sixth man of the year. This is another important award, and this one again, you can go off the rail with this one. Who knows? Peter, who you got? Sixth man of the year.
I want to pick Tyler Hero plus 800. He's usually a big
Okay.
favorite, and I expect the Heat to go at least to the finals this year. So
All right, Noah.
Christian Wood. He's coming off the bench, right?
He is
He
All right,
is.
yeah, he's my guy.
plus 800. That's
Former
also my
Piston.
guy. I'm taking Christian Wood at plus 800. I'm with you, Noah. Carr, who do you got?
Give me Jordan Poole. Look, I mean, I know he just got clocked in the face by Draymond, and maybe that just makes him turn it up even more. I think he's playing in his contract year right now, and when he plays, and even when he starts, like, he's really, really good. And he's filled when Steph Curry's missed time, he's filled in very admirably. I think he's going to have a pretty good season this year, and especially when you're playing for a contract, I just think that Jordan Poole is someone who could have a huge season off the bench.
Yeah, I think Poole is huge for that Warriors team.
Mhm.
All right, let's go to Coach of the Year. Another award in which does this award tend to go to teams that overachieve? Is it teams that are like number 1 seed? So I guess you can take this a couple different ways. I'll start. I'm going to go with this one's tough because you can go in a couple different ways, but I'm probably going to lean. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go Taylor Jenkins plus 1,000 out in Memphis. I have them going to the finals, and I think Jenkins, who did a good job last year, is gonna do another good job this year. I like him. He's the favorite right now, co-favorite. Plus 1,000. Taylor Jenkins.
Oh, Joe Mazzulla in third for the
Mm.
Celtics. I think that's interesting. It's higher than Tyronn Lue, Eric Spoelstra, some other big names here.
I
So
think with
that-
Missoula, it comes down to situation. You're just kind of
Yeah.
thrust into good deal with it. Good luck. You're thrust into dealing with one of the best teams in the NBA.
right.
So, is that who you're picking?
No, I'm gonna go with Mike Malone. I have Denver as the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, and I think they're due. Again, I just feel like they're due to have a big season. And Mike Malone, if he's the coach of that team, I could see it. Another name, Chris Finch. I believe he's the head coach of the Timberwolves.
Yep.
Had them finishing as the 3rd seed this year, and I think they could have a big season. So I'm gonna go with those two.
Noah, who do you got?
I mean, if I have the Cavs as the number 1 seed, I guess it's got to be JB Bickerstaff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Cavs. Has to
has to be 14-1 plus 1,400. Peter, who you got?
I have Tyronn Lue plus 1,300. He did an amazing job with no Kawhi last year. I thought he should have won last year.
He was in the discussion. Who ended up winning it
Yeah.
last year? Was it?
So Monte Williams, right?
It was Monty. It wasn't Ime, right? It was Monty.
No, right?
I remember I wanted it to be. It should have been Ime, in my opinion, but I ended up going with Monty. All right, last award that we're gonna hit on here, Rookie of the Year. So this one should be interesting. Noah, I guess I'll start with you for this one. Who do you got for Rookie of the Year?
Just say Jaden Ivey.
Yeah, just saying Jaden Ivey, let's go.
Shaden Sharp. I think he's going to be the rookie of the year.
Ooh.
I like
The
it.
tight end in Denver.
Very funny.
All right,
No,
Peter, why
didn't.
don't you go?
No, I didn't like that answer. I'm gonna pick Chalk. Pantera plus 200. I predicted them to go 1 in the draft. So
You did. That was. I don't know if you guys know this, but Peter was all in on Paulo Banchero. He said he would be picked first overall. I told him he was crazy. He'd be lucky to pick third overall, and he was picked first. So
Mhm.
salute to Peter. Peter, I'm gonna agree with you though. I'm gonna go chalk, and I'm gonna go with Paulo Banchero as the favorite. Who you got, Carr?
Me 3. Paolo's had, I think, the best. I think he had the best summer league. I mean, I know Keegan Murray won the award, but Paulo Banchero, like, I had him, I think, as like the 3rd or 4th best player. After watching him a lot more, he's legit, and I think his situation with Orlando, he's already probably the best player on that team, or maybe close to it. Like,
Oh, he's
gonna
not,
have
bro. Markel Fultz.
Yeah, exactly. Markel Fultz too, but I don't know. I just think
kidding,
that
I'm kidding.
freaking Markel Fultz, man. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that Paolo, he has a good situation to be able to put up numbers, and maybe Orlando sneaks into the play-in tournament because of him. I mean, it's possible, but yeah, I think he's looked the best this offseason. I just think that's no fluke. I think he's actually going to be a really good player.
All right, and to conclude our NBA preview, we're gonna give you who's gonna win the finals. So I'll start. As I said, out of the Eastern Conference, I have the Bucks, and the Western Conference, I have the Grizzlies, and I'm going to take the Bucks. I have the Bucks winning the NBA Finals. Peter,
So last year I predicted this, right? I had the
you
Warriors.
did.
So I have the 76ers over the Clippers at plus 1,500.
Ooh, okay. Noah,
Yeah, I don't want to sound boring and repeat an answer, but I feel like I have to. I just think Bucks are going to do it again. Giannis is too good, and I mean, 2 in 3 years sounds reasonable for me.
so Bucks over you at the West. You had Denver, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I forgot to mention that the Bucks they're not the favorite. Like I said, the Clippers are the favorite. Peter, what do you have the odds of for the
Plus
Bucks?
800.
Plus 800. Yep. All right, Carr.
And I gotta agree with Noah. I had the Bucks and Nuggets. I think the Bucks are gonna win. And look, I think last year, could they have gone to the finals if Chris Middleton was healthy? I think that's absolutely possible. They could have beaten the Celtics. And I mean, Giannis was playing out of his freaking mind in the playoffs. Like, he was like putting up like record numbers. And he's just so good. I think he's the best player in the NBA. I think he's clearly the best player. And I think that team defensively is going to be really good. You have Drew Holiday, you have Chris Middleton, Giannis, Brook Lopez is coming back too. And this is a team that I think is just, they were only 2 years removed from winning the finals. And I think that they're not going anywhere. And this is going to be a team that absolutely can probably win maybe 2 more finals, but I think they'll win this year.
So 3 of us are taking the Bucks, and Peter, you're the lone wolf taking the Sixers.
That bodes well, I guess.
It does bode well for you. 'Cause
Yep,
usually,
that's true.
Yeah. All right. So that's our NBA preview for 2022-2023. But before we conclude here, so I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the last, what do you want to call it, Peter? 3 weeks?
Yeah, I think so.
Last 3 weeks, so for Pombo and Peter's picks, we've been heavy football, of course,
Mhm.
because the NFL season is in full swing. So to give the listener sort of a break at the end of the football heavy show, we decided to do a segment which is still unnamed. Right now, we're calling it 5 Questions Not About Football. And we just ask 5 questions. They can be other sports related questions. They can be fun
Right.
questions. So myself and Peter have prepared 5 questions for each of you. Some of them, 2 of them from me, 3 of them from Peter. And yeah, so I'll start off here. So
Do you have a segment name? This isn't an answer.
yes.
A
Oh, yes.
question.
If you have a segment name, speak
I
for
If
haven't-
you say if you say
been
no,
thinking of-
it doesn't matter.
I don't have one, but like I've been thinking about it. I think it's hard. Like I think
Right?
what you have now is pretty good though. Not gonna lie.
I think it's fire too. Noah, what do you think?
I don't know, man. Roughing the questions. I mean,
Roughing the question.
Now that's you, bro.
That's your show, bro.
yeah, we gotta do a segment on that now. Maybe I'll turn it into.
Roughing
a
Oh
the
wait,
read.
should
Let's do it.
wait? That's actually a good idea. Should it just be picking the answer?
I don't know. It's
Ooh.
I don't know.
All right, no, that's not it.
All right.
We'll figure it out. All right.
Think
So
about it, yeah.
all right. So again, this is to both of you. So whoever wants to start first may
Mhm.
go. All right. First question. What is your favorite episode of Roughing the Basket?
All right, I have mine. I think I've already said this to you, Pombo, but Peter, Wyoming, man. that is by far my favorite episode.
That
of Rough-
wasn't that our podcast?
That's our podcast.
Yeah. No. What is your favorite episode of Roughing the Basket?
Oh, I thought you said Pombo
No,
Peter's picks. My
no.
fault. My fault.
That is a good
Um,
answer. That was
that is-
that was
Jason's
my
before,
answer.
though.
It's a great answer. My favorite episode of Rough in the Basket.
Or first one to come to mind.
Rapid
I think-
fire.
Any episode where Noah goes on like a heated rant about the Detroit Lions. I just
So
had
last week,
there's a lot of-
electric.
literally like last
And this
week.
week. Yeah.
Any episode where he goes on a rant, whether it's about the Lions, whether it's about the Pistons, like it's electric. So any of those episodes, I think, are probably my favorite ones.
Okay. Noah.
Definitely, man. That was gonna be my answer. It's therapy for me. I instead of paying like $25 a session, I just have Rough in the Basket. I just talk about my Lions issues. So
Mhm.
you know,
my
works out for
favorite
me.
episode is the Davis Mills versus Trevor Lawrence debate.
Oh,
I
for
think
sure.
That's,
Oh, yeah.
that's mine personally.
Still
Hey,
ongoing.
it's looking pretty good right now for me, I have to say. So I just want to put that out there.
All right. So next question. What is so as everyone knows, you guys are co-hosts. What is your favorite thing about each other? Or least favorite thing about each other? Answer however you want.
Ooh, wow. All right. I don't want to be negative. My favorite thing about Noah,
Bro, come on, Jason sucks.
man, you
Yeah,
guys
you're
are
trying,
hitting.
you're trying to
you
rip
guys
us apart, man. You're trying to separate the pod. I see what
That
you
was a
guys are
Peter
doing.
question.
This is some hard hitting journalism right now. My favorite thing about Noah, I would say, I'm trying to think of something. That's not a diss towards Noah, but my favorite thing about Noah,
You
man.
can't even think of one.
Can you
know,
think of
bro.
one, Noah?
Dude, I
Can you
guys-
freaking suck,
You
bro.
guys suck at
I'm
these
trying
questions.
to think of I'm trying to think of good things about myself, and nothing's coming to mind
Guys,
either. So
Peter would have been on question 5
struggle.
by now.
Man, I'm trying to think of something.
Noah, do you got anything?
about Carr, I mean,
Then what's your least favorite? You probably have a million of those. Who
honestly,
cares?
I think my favorite thing about Carr is just like the experience from just being in the sports world that he brings here. Like he's been on 98.5. He's been on TV, man. Right? I'm not wrong about that, right?
No,
Yeah,
not
we've
like-
all seen the clip.
Not
We've seen the
officially
clip.
on TV, but
We've seen the clip. It's a pre-recorded
I
clip.
did
We've
my
seen it.
little thing.
That
So the
counts.
experience that he brings and the professionalism he brings to the pod. Because I'm just a
All right,
mess.
I got something now. All right.
Okay.
I think the dedication that Noah puts into the reels on Instagram.
That's
on-
the obvious
Good
answer.
answer.
I can't believe that
On-
wasn't thought of 5 minutes ago.
I just thought about it now. I'm like, crap, that should have been my answer. But
Dude
No,
spent
he doesn't
6.5
appreciate
hours a week.
He doesn't appreciate your reels.
no, I do, because look, if you've seen the reels recently, he's upped his game. Now there's animations. He figured out how to use
Oh,
Premiere
yeah.
Pro. They're
It's
coming
killing
out
it.
pretty good.
I think you both had some great answers there.
Yeah.
Question 3. What is your Halloween costume for this year?
Oh my God.
Oh,
Or if
can I
you don't
go
have
first?
one, what is it?
I
Yeah,
got
Noah,
one.
go. Yeah,
Yeah,
Noah, go.
so I mean, some of you guys know I worked for Amazon for a little bit and they asked for the uniform back. And so far I haven't given it back. So I may have an Amazon uniform. So I'm gonna be an Amazon worker.
That is a fantastic idea,
That's a
Carr.
great answer.
Good luck up in that.
You and my girlfriend are actually trying to figure that out. Like in the
You're st-
process of trying
You're
to figure
still
that out.
stumped, huh?
Do you have any idea? Like any like
No,
throwing it
like
out there? No.
nothing like certain, but we gotta get ready for Dylan's party. Shout out to Dylan.
Question 4. Favorite basketball jersey in the NBA? Not necessarily one that you have, but what's the cleanest to you when you watch it? You're like, damn, these are the cleanest jerseys.
Could I go with like a throwback?
Sure.
Do whatever you want.
Throwback. I really like the Vancouver Grizzlies one or those old Toronto Raptors jerseys with
That would have been my answer. Yeah.
The dinosaur.
Like,
yeah, for sure.
the dinosaurs. I just think those are fire, and I think they might be bringing those back. I don't know, like for just like a.
They might
you know,
do that, something like that.
They should do it if they're haven't thought.
Noah,
about
who do you got?
You know something? I'm gonna go with the Orlando Magic jerseys. I mean,
Interesting.
I've used them in 2K just because of the jerseys. I'm not gonna.
Wow. Okay. So there
I
we
like
go.
those.
Another one. I like the Miami Vice jerseys. I kind of think those look sharp.
That's a
uh,
Brandon Clay answer.
I know. Number 5. Apple picking or pumpkin carving?
Apple picking. I like legitimately went apple picking like 2 days ago.
Okay, Noah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the same, bro, because you can like eat the apple after, the
Gross.
pumpkin just kind of like rots out. It gets really gross.
You can eat pumpkins.
You
just
can eat the
gut it out
seeds,
and
guy.
just
Yeah, the
eat
seeds.
The pumpkins have like good food. Listen,
Tell you what, I'm disagreeing. Just for the seeds. I love pumpkin seeds. And Peter,
pumpkin seeds are good.
you know how much I love seeds, Peter.
Where's your cup?
Like-
Where's your cup?
There's no cup right now. There really
Bullshit.
isn't.
Bull.
There is not. There is not. There's just water in here.
All right.
So Peter mocks me because Justin exposed me a couple weeks, maybe a month or two ago on Bo Sox. And he says that I chew sunflower seeds and I have like a spit cup around me at all times, which is not necessarily the case.
But it's
chew
not
sunflower seeds?
wrong.
It's not wrong. Like I do have.
Hey, Pombo was a former baseball coach. What a week. So.
Correct. But I guess that's where the sunflower seed addiction started.
Also, another thing with apple picking. If you guys ever, I'm sure
Let's
you
hear
guys
it.
have
Let's
now,
hear it.
the apple cider donuts that you get from like the shops there are unbelievable.
You dip apple cider donuts into apple cider.
I'm not an
like
apple
a-
cider person, personally.
Like just the donuts, like the donuts you buy.
Oh.
Like they're just, I don't know, they're good. I don't know
Good
if you-
take. Good take. Good
Yeah.
take. Well, thank you for playing our segment, which we are still trying to name it. But I hope you guys had fun. You guys were. Tell you what, Peter gets his answers real quick. You guys were taking a lot longer, but that's okay.
I wasn't prepared. I was like, damn, what is like my favorite thing about Noah? Because hey, a lot of good things about him.
Of course.
There you go.
What is there not to like about Noah?
Noah's a
This is
go.
too
Noah's a
hard,
reason why the Patriots won.
It's true.
There you go.
I mean, who doesn't love me? It's not like I've never gotten kicked out of a college party or something, but
Ah, shout out Disney World.
Shout out Disney World and shout out Illinois. Shout out New
Illinois.
York. What?
New York.
Missouri,
Yeah.
sorry.
Wyoming.
Yeah, there you go. There
States.
you go.
All right. Well, Peter, again, Carr, Noah, thank you all for coming back on for this NBA preview. I hope you guys had a good time on and hopefully have you guys on soon. Carr, I'm sure you'll be back on in a couple of months for some college football stuff. Noah, we're going to have you back on, of course, for whatever you guys want to come on. You guys let us know and we'll pepper you down with some questions again.
If the Pistons win 20 games in a row, Noah's gonna be coming on.
Yeah.
hey,
Check out
I'll
Rough in the
talk to you
Basket.
I'll talk to you about the number 1 pick when the Lions have it this year. So
Oh. Well, if you guys want to shout out your socials or your pod itself, you guys have gotten plugged like 100 times, but might as well make it 101.
Yeah. Carr tried to plug himself. themselves.
Bro, I
in the
would try
beginning.
plugging at literally the start of the episode. I thought I was doing my own podcast. So I was like,
Welcome
what-
back to Rough in the Basket. We have Jason and Peter on us, guys.
That ain't it.
Oh man, but yeah, I mean, you can follow us on Instagram at Rough in the Basket. That's the most used social media platform. Again, Noah killing it with those reels, has the animations down packed, and hey, the numbers are doing pretty good. And yeah, so make sure you guys go check that out. Check out our podcast, obviously, Rough in the Basket. Follow me on Twitter at bcar_13. I've been tweeting a lot about football, but with basketball coming back, I'm sure I'll get more into that as well.
Okay. Noah, you got anything, or did Carr kind of hit it?
He hit all of it, man. That's what
You
I
You
love.
gotta
about
plug your
Carr.
own socials.
Nah, nobody needs to follow me on there.
What about what's the YouTube channel?
Oh yeah, Gringo Perspectiva. I make
There we
videos
go.
about
Yeah.
just random facts about the United States, and I got one coming out this week about animals. And so if you want to learn something cool about animals and see some cute pictures of dogs, check
Yeah, there
that
we go.
out.
I am a religious watcher of the reels.
Me as well.
Yeah, I watch
him,
them all to
love
the
him.
end. Yeah, I love them.
Love him.
Absolutely love them. But again, thank you guys for coming on. Hope you guys had fun. And Peter, we'll be dropping 2 episodes this week. So for the listeners, you can catch us Thursday. We're going to drop an episode about week 6 in the NFL. We'll preview week 7, and we'll get you caught up on the latest MLB playoffs.
Stay hot.